Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Back with a brand new video. If you recently watched my fig swap PSA, then you will know why this uh, set looks the way that it does. So again, check that video out for more details on that. Essentially, this figure was compromised before I purchased it. So just like I said, fig swapping is something that I do not like, and you will check out my other recent video to learn more about it and learn more about why this figure is in the condition that it's in. So again, with that being said, this is a set that I've actually been looking forward to getting for a while. I saw this on Ringside a while back, and this is the set of a very brief period in WWE involving what was arguably, and still to this day, is one of the most, I would say, one of the best, one of the most, I don't say the word powerful, but one of the most star-studded tag team combinations in not just WWE history, but wrestling history. This is the Stone Cold Steve Austin Triple H Championship Showdown Series 15. And this is from the two-man power trip era. So we're going to go way back in time, because a lot of you younger fans are probably not even aware of this, but there was a time when Triple H and Stone Cold, they were the top heel tag team in WWE. So the gist of the story is that going back to 2001, going into WrestleMania 17. WrestleMania 17, that was a WrestleMania from the Houston Astrodome, considered still to this day one of the best WrestleManias of all time, featured the legendary TLC match between the Dudleys, Hardys, Edge and Christian, Austin and Rock in the main event of the two biggest stars of the Attitude Era, who at the time were the two top baby faces in the company one-on-one. This was their second WrestleMania main event. They met at WrestleMania 15 in 1999, but by this point, the wrestling landscape was vastly different because just a week earlier, I believe earlier that same week, WCW went out of business. So it was just quite an interesting time in the wrestling business, where within the span of a couple of weeks, you had WCW and ECW fold, and the first pay-per-view after these seismic events was WrestleMania. And this was the high peak of WWE, and a lot of people consider that WrestleMania 17 was the crescendo slash peak of the Attitude Era. And after that pay-per-view, things started to decline somewhat rapidly in terms of the company's popularity, because one, you didn't have two viable national options no more. There was no WCW, so you either had WWE, there was no ECW, you had WWE, and then the independent scene really started booming. But at this time, we still didn't have an Impact Wrestling. There was no Ring of Honor. So it was a very unique time in wrestling history, where the future was definitely, just a lot of things were happening in and behind the scenes. But to get back to this, the original plan for WrestleMania, post WrestleMania 17, was for Triple H to be the top babyface going against a heel Steve Austin. And actually, back in February of that year, at No Way Out, Rock and Austin and Triple H fought in a classic 2 out of 3 falls match, where Triple H won. And the fans were kind of in Triple H's corner, which at that time was pretty notable, because Triple H at that point had been the top heel in the company for quite a while, and it was just very notable. Austin at that time was the top babyface by far. He had just returned from a nearly year injury sabbatical. So, and I think it was a lot of other factors, and eventually, Triple H just, I guess, decided against it, because if you realize, around this time, Rock was taking off for acting. He was becoming bigger in the Hollywood world. So, Austin and Rock was supposed to be the big feud after WrestleMania, and as the next night on Raw, of course at WrestleMania, Austin turned on The Rock. He turned heel, which Austin will admit to this day is one of the biggest mistakes of his entire career. And in hindsight, it definitely was, because Austin never should have went heel. And the next night on Raw, they were teasing issues between Triple H and Austin, and then excuse me for it is like a lot of gnats out here, so that's why I'm just kind of scratching and rubbing my face. My goodness. But anyway, so yeah, long story short, Triple H came out, and it was a rematch the next night on Raw, cage match. Triple H came out and looked like he was about to confront Austin, and then he joined him in pounding the Rock. So for the next couple of months, these two were the big heel unit, mostly fighting against The Undertaker and Kane, fighting against the Hardys, and their run came to an abrupt end as a team when Triple H suffered his quad injury, his now legendary quad injury, in that classic kind of forgotten about tag match on Raw when him and Triple H lost the tag belts to Jericho and Chris Benoit. I think it was in San Jose, and one of the really great Raw matches of all time. And that really put an end to that team. But again, it was just an interesting period in history, because based on just star power alone, they would have to qualify as the most, I would say, loaded tag team in WWE history. You can maybe compare it to the Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker and Kane, or even Rock and Roman Reigns this year at WrestleMania. But at the time of their team, the accolades were, multiple-time world champions, multiple-time Intercontinental champions, tag titles, two of the biggest stars ever in history. So, interesting, just period. And this set comes with one belt, the world title belt. I think it should have came with the tag belts, to be honest, since they were tag team champions. But hey, and the only thing I do not like about these championship showdowns is that they give you one belt. Even like with that Uso set last year, 2 tag belts would have been so much nicer. But hey, can't get everything you want. So take these babies out, and the face, the head scan is not the best. It's Triple H. He looks kind of like, it's not the best. I'll just put it like that. I'm actually going to replace this with another Triple H, the head off another Triple H figure. I think it'll just look much better. But I love the outfit. We have never seen this before. This is Triple H in his workout attire. This I've never seen. I remember this shirt actually on TV from that period. And then, he's wearing the windbreaker pants, and really cool. I like the look. The head could just be better, but I'm going to replace that. So, and feels good in the hands. It's a basic figure, so, but it's not the best basic figure, but I love the outfit. The outfit is pretty cool. And then on the back, I Know You Can't Take Me, part of his legendary, his theme. And actually the front shirt is I Am Your Pain. And I just like the design. I just like this. This is vintage Triple H that I grew up watching when he was the man. He was the heel that you hated and wanted to see get killed every week by Rock, Austin, or various other assortment of top baby faces at the time. Then we have Austin, and I like this design too. This Austin 316 shirt. This isn't the standard, black and white. This is from that 2001 period, so he was incorporating a lot more colors into his attire. I just like the bigness of these letters that really stand out with the yellow and red. And then on the back we have the skull with the eyes coming out. So this was Austin in his heel mode, which heel Austin just he tried his best, and then when you look back at that 2001 year, him being a heel, his even that beatdown, which definitely wouldn't fly today. But there was an episode of Raw in 2001 where Austin and Triple H gave a savage beating to Lita. And again, that's something that WWE has probably smartly scrubbed from a lot of their, retrospects of both guys' careers, because that's, again, something that just not socially acceptable today, beating a woman to the extent they did in that storyline. They crushed her with a steel chair and their finishers. It was, even by the standards of the time, that was pretty intense. But again, Austin was all in on being the heel, but I just don't think the fans really ever embraced it, because this was the guy that so many fans that watched fight against Vince and, all these other heels, and this is the guy that really is the reason why you all beat WCW. And I just don't think the fans really accepted it. But back to the figure, really good figure though. I love, you know, you have the knee braces from this period. I just really, this is a really nice Austin figure. I would say this is probably the best Austin figure in my collection. I don't have a lot of Austin figures, but this one is pretty solid. I like this a lot. So again, in these Championship Showdown series packs, I mean, you get 2 figures for a little over the price of 1, so you can't beat it, especially when it's a set that, like this, a set that I really have, didn't think I would really see ever, and then it took me forever to find it. And again, this is from a very obscure period in WWE history, because this period was only for about, they were a team for, I would say, I don't even think it was 3 full months. And so it's just, you know, I like when Mattel, you know, WWE, when they just highlight, they've been doing such a good job of it lately, just really highlighting figures from very obscure periods of time in company history. So that is it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, it is getting very hot out here and a lot of bugs flying around, so I'm going to bring this to a close. But thank you for watching. Have a great day. I will see you again after a while.